Back when I was very young, not even 9 years old, I experienced a terrifying encounter that literally debilitates me to this day. My family was taking the annual trip to my grandparents for the summer family reunion. My father had just gotten a promotion at his job, which entailed a lengthy move from the town I was born and raised up to this point and away from our family. It was very important to my parents to make this trip and continue the tradition, in a sense, despite the horrible drive that we had to make to do it. We actually enjoyed our family's company for extended periods of time. The 5 hour trip was torturous to my 8-year-old bladder, and we had to take more potty breaks than my father cared to take. But it was either stop or I peed myself. It was during one of these breaks that my father pulled into a rest area along the interstate. It was a 2 acre piece of land, diligently gardened and mowed with a spiraling walkway that eventually led to the center building where the bathrooms and the vending machines were. We all got out of the car. My father and I headed to the bathrooms while my mother scoped out the vending machines for something decent to munch on. Since I'm a girl, I obviously went to the bathroom alone. My mother was basically right outside. The bathroom was completely empty. Across from the door was a long stretch of sinks, and beside that began a row of 4 bathroom stalls. Purely out of habit, I went to the last stall, which also happened to be the handicap, and commenced with relieving my bladder. Now, the handicap stall was set up so that the toilet was in the corner and a rail support was mounted into the wall. The sink was right beside the adjoining wall of the stall next to mine. At some point, I glanced over towards the sink and I saw a pair of legs in the stall next to mine. I was slightly startled only by the fact that I thought I was alone and didn't hear anyone walk in, but I just shrugged it off and finished up. I flushed the toilet and went to the sink to wash my hands. Understand that this entire time, this other person made no sound, including bodily sounds, and I was now standing just on the other side of the wall. I wasn't even paying attention to any of it until I started to hear this wheezing. I got chills that nearly paralyzed me. My eyes immediately dropped to the space beneath the wall. A grimy hand was awkwardly clutching the edge of the wall like they were upside down. I quickly staggered back just as dirty locks of hair fell to the floor in a sopping heap, reverberating a wet thud off the walls of the empty restroom. Attached was a head that slowly came into view from the bottom of the other stall, peering at me in such a way that she had to be clinging to the wall upside down. She appeared like a homeless addict, extremely filthy with swollen dark eyes that stared at me with a hunger I could not define. I screamed and bolted out of the stall as her head started to stretch out towards me in an impossible way, revealing a smile of rotting teeth filed down the fangs. I rushed to my parents, actually running into my mom outside the bathroom, and blabbered incoherently about what had happened. My mom thought a real person had did something to me and charged in like a real mama bear but came out confused. There was no one inside the restroom. At this point, my parents summed it up for it to be my imagination, but I still refused to go into a rest area bathroom to this day. A couple years back, during one of the trips to our grandparents', we stopped at the same rest stop. Obviously, I didn't dare get out of the car, but my mother had to go. When she got back, she appeared a little shaken, so I asked her what had happened. She said that she was alone in the bathroom, but she kept hearing the bathroom stall doors open and close. And not just one, all of them, with no footsteps in between. She's adamant that she was alone. I believe her.